We got a bunch of questions here for you. Let us start with Amanda, who just moved into a new home at the end of June and immediately realized she had a problem. In this email, she says, Lee Harris at Limestone, she says, early Sunday morning last week, her neighbor started mowing the lawn at 7 a.m. Now, both Amanda, her husband Tom, and the kids were sleeping. And in this email, she says the lawnmower woke everybody up. She wants to be a good neighbor, but at the same time needs her sleep because she works 12 hours a day as a nurse. And legally, she's wondering, Lee, what can she do? Let's start with that.
Well, neighbor disputes like this are always difficult. So the first thing to do is to be a neighborly neighbor. Go over there, maybe take some brownies or some cookies, introduce yourself to your neighbor and say, hey, explain that situation. I'm a nurse. I work 12 hours a day. I got kids. I know it's cooler in the morning, but maybe we could come up with a legitimate time that we both can agree upon for mowing the lawn. If that doesn't work, there's not a lot you can do because it would have to rise to the level of noise pollution in order for it to be actionable. And, I don't know where she would take this matter except for maybe to the HOA, if there is one. And, I guess ultimately to the courts, but I don't know what the courts would say about that. That's a pretty low level complaint that they probably wouldn't want to deal with.
Could she write an anonymous letter to her neighbor and maybe drop it off in a mailbox?
Sure.
And just say, hey, this is one of your neighbors and I just need, so she doesn't have to face the neighbor.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That might be, yeah. In the email, she also asked that she wondered if there were any guidelines neighbors should follow to respect their fellow neighbors. And I did some research. I think this is important. First of all, watch the clock. Mowing at 7 a.m. Sunday, even with an electric lawnmower, you're going to make some noise. That's a fast way to make enemies. The rule of thumb should be yard work between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., especially on weekends. Your neighbors are going to thank you for letting them sleep in. Also, keep it on your side. Grass clippings, leaves, debris, don't disrespect property lines. Just basically don't blow leaves into your neighbor's yard or let hedge trimmings fall on their side of the fence. If it crosses the line, clean it up. And then mind the noise. Loud tools like leaf blowers and chainsaws can be a nuisance. I know, Randy Rocky, you wouldn't be out at 7 a.m. using a chainsaw to cut down some tree limbs, right? Not a chance.
That's right.
Right. Use them sparingly. Those items that are noisy, never during quiet hours. Consider battery-powered or electric options. Also, pick up after your crew. Like if you're hiring landscapers and they leave stuff behind, limbs or clippings, you're still responsible for what they left behind. Make sure they're not blocking driveways or blasting music or littering. A respectful crew, by the way, reflects well on you. And overall, avoid overkill. Excessive fertilizing, pesticides, spraying, or burning yard waste can affect others. Always check local rules, and if it's windy, don't spray or burn because your neighbors may have to deal with all that, and they don't want to have to deal with weed killers or smoke in their faces. So those are some of the tips I found online that are available. I think we all should adhere to those.